If you're new here, I'm Savannah, and I am a mom of 6, and I love homeschooling my children. There are so many hard days, but there are so many good days, and I would not have it any other way. Today, I thought I would just take you through a day in my life and what it looks like to homeschool my kids. I have 3 younger ones that are not in school, and they are constantly around me. They are constantly hanging on me. They are constantly in need. And as you will see, this is a big part of our homeschool and our journey. So, as a mom of 6, I've learned often the hard way that homeschooling is about more than just books and lessons. And it's so much about rhythms and relationships and just creating a home that serves your family well. And so today, I thought I would just share a little bit of encouragement in the journey and share 3 simple but very powerful tips that have made a big difference in our home over the years. So the first tip that I want to share with you guys is to remember to take time each week to play with your kids. I know that this is really easy for me to just kind of put last on my list, but as I have been through this journey, I have noticed that when I take time to actually play with my kids or just laugh with them, to do something that is engaging and fun and brings laughter to the soul, is something that really just brings life to our home and to our homeschool. It's easy for me to stay focused on the to-do list as a homemaker, the laundry, the meals, the lessons, the cleaning that has to be done on a day-to-day and a week basis. But every time that I stop and get down on the floor or go outside with my children or just encourage my children to come alongside me into the garden, it always brings great joy and helps deepen our relationships. And one of the reasons that my husband and I chose to homeschool was for these types of relationships. And sometimes our kids can kind of get lost in the shuffle of, mom only wants us to do these tasks and she doesn't want to be engaged with us. So my encouragement to you guys is just remember, our children are human souls and they have emotions and they have feelings, and we should stop as moms and just recognize them sometimes. Just notice them and really make them feel like they are a part of this home. And they're such a sweet part of our home. They are constantly in need, but that is okay. And God will supply us with everything that we need to give to them. I read one time that the basis of a wholesome approach to life with children is an appreciation of them as people. And at the same time, a realistic understanding of how we are going to be doers of the Lord's word and not hearers only. And I really just loved this concept, thinking of our small children as real people with real emotions and feelings. And the first habit, of course, in raising children and homeschooling is obedience. And I believe that this is the single greatest pattern to be formed in those early years, because it makes the older years so much more enjoyable and fruitful. There's always a lot going on in the kitchen, and I'm sure you moms can relate to this. I feel like I am mostly in the kitchen, but one thing that really helps is just taking time to prepare our dinner. So today I was cooking up some bread and I was going to get a pot roast in the Instapot, and this will be able to cook all day and be ready for dinner. I did say that my little ones are around me all the time, and this is just another example of learning how to do the things that you need to do with little hands beside you constantly. My daughter thought that this was cookie dough, so I am just continuing to cook while my older kids are doing their independent studies. And again, this just goes back to the topic that I shared with you on obedience. There are so many ways that we can instill obedience in our children in those younger years, and it has really paid off in these older years for my children, and them being able to do some things independently while I continue to just clean our home, prepare our home for a time when I can sit down and focus with them individually. And so that's what I'm doing here now. I am getting together my son's curriculum and work that we do together. So it's just this independent time that I have with him. And on this day, he had built a really great magnetile castle, and I wanted to just commend him on that. But I also knew that if I left it, my daughter would wreck it, and I did not want that to happen. So I just decided to bring all of the school to him, and we just did our work on the floor. And this is one of the perks of homeschooling. We can do it anywhere. We have homeschooled outside. We have actually homeschooled in the car when I have wanted to take long trips. They just pack up their stuff and they do it there. We do also a learning style that is very interactive for all of my children for our core subjects like history and art appreciation and Bible, and we also do literature together. So these things that I'm doing independently with my kids are math, reading, and spelling. Those are really the only things that I need to divide and do with them independently. And so that has really allowed us to have this personal relationship with each other, but also it allows my other kids to play while they are not being schooled. And it really allows so much flexibility and freedom for my children while their siblings are doing their independent work with mom. I have noticed that our children love having their minds and imaginations captured, and this schoolwork that we do shouldn't feel like factory work, and we can stimulate their minds in ways that are fun and engaging. Now, looking at the material that we're using is so important, and if children aren't interested in the material that we offer them, something is wrong. So my kids don't love all of their work. There are some times when they would rather be out playing, of course, but we have to also look at our use of time. We have become used to this questionable idea that time spent inside four walls working equals education, and a child is instinctively fidgeting to get at real life. Why is it that we think they are learning more because we are talking at them or because they are writing in workbooks? The child's instinct is wiser than ours, and this is something that I've learned over the years. We are to teach the skills for their own sake. We are to introduce the child to a wide curriculum of living books. toddler mess here, and this is quite frequent in our home. If you have little ones, you just know. I have always tried to remember that if we try to organize perfection, we fail the child, and we also will fail ourselves because we are not perfect and our homeschools will never be perfect. And in fact, there have been days when we have just decided to stop doing all of our book work and all of our learning. And there have also been days when I have tried to push through, and those usually do not end well. So my encouragement is to just continue to see your children as real persons. When we begin studying the person, the real child, we must serve who he is, not fit him into our schedules or plans. Part of this is allowing him to play. And I don't mean like serving our children everything that they need on a platter. I simply mean like they are children, and so they need a lot of play. So as our day wraps up, this is our last time together, and we are going over some of our science, some of our history, some of those subjects that we can do together as a family. And this time is really a time where we can come together like a one-room schoolhouse. I don't have to do separate topics for my children. We can all just learn together. My oldest is 12 and the youngest here is 8. So we're all learning the same things. And after we're done with this, we are done with our school day. So now I want to share with you my second tip, and that is to establish a quiet time with your children. After we finish up our schoolwork, my children have had plenty of time to play. We have gotten all of our subjects done. We have had lunch, we have cleaned, we have made messes, we have been outside, and it's time for us to have a little bit of time to ourselves. I find that this is so helpful in my children's relationships with each other, and it really just helps us reset and get ready for our afternoon and evening time together. The third tip that I have for you is to assign something called jurisdictions. And so our jurisdictions are just a game changer in our home. I learned this many years ago, and a jurisdiction is just a specific area of the home that each child is responsible for. So my kids have had the same jurisdictions for years. One does the entryway, another handles the dining room, another does the schoolroom, and another child does our living room. So just really high traffic areas that have a lot of mess in them. And the beauty of this system is that our whole house can get tidied up in about 15 minutes when everyone works together. All right, so those are my 3 tips. I hope that those are helpful for you and in your home. I am catching some rain coming down on the homestead, and as you can see, we have some big projects that we're working on. So I am excited to share those with you in the upcoming videos.